Well, that's what happened with us with stolen cars. This came out of nowhere. And it's clear to us that this became a fad among a segment of the juvenile population who perceived that there were no consequences for high status behavior. Engaging in this behavior gave them status in certain segments of the community, certainly among members of their peer group. There was no disincentive. If these kids can learn a lesson, all right, and for some of them the lesson just is somebody do something the first time. All right, a lot of kids will grow out of it. You know, there's always that percentage. They're on the track to go to prison someday, but most of the rest of them are along for the ride, so to speak. And if they see their friends getting all this credit and status, they're going to be tempted to move along that way. Why? Because their brains aren't finished yet. So the system's got to figure out a way to respond. We're responding, okay? We're around the ball. We're where we're supposed to be. We know who the offenders are. We know what their backgrounds are. We can identify them. Somehow the rest of the system's got to feel a sense of urgency too, because if we get it right now, we might not have to have this conversation in 2 years. We can talk about something else. I'm not trying to be draconian here, but you don't have to be a child psychologist to understand that the lack, a lot of these kids come from backgrounds in which there was insufficient bodies on them growing up in the first place. Now they're in this exciting world of adventure and status accrual, and then they get caught, and their uh-oh moment disappears. Okay, that moment of, oh, I'm caught, I'm gonna be in trouble, poof, they're not in trouble. And even when they're put on supervision, nobody is really supervising them. We've got large volumes of kids being returned to the neighborhood with neither services nor sanctions. How are they gonna learn? What are they gonna learn from that experience? And the answer clearly with the number of reoffending we're having right now. Right now we're having a spike. Right now we're having a tipping point. Right now I've got a critical mass of young people from disadvantaged backgrounds whose lesson is, I am a person of status if I do this cool thing. And nothing really bad will happen to me. Come along for the ride, okay? That's what's got to be attended to right now. And if we can get that under control right now, well, then maybe in 3 years we'll have a lot fewer kids that need residential treatment. Somebody will learn the lesson, and we can get back to the manageable caseloads we had, 6 or 7 years ago, Mr. Chairman.